And welcome to the Hopcast.
Thanks for coming back, everybody.
I'm Brad Chmielewski,
My name is Ken Hunnemeder.
and I think it's about time we go green.
Yeah, we're going to do an organic show for you guys. And so we actually have a couple of beers from Germany and one from here in the great country of the United States of America. In commemoration of today, we're celebrating the 4th of July.
Right, yeah.
So we have to represent. But we've got, from the German side, we have Pinkus. It's an organic Pilsner. And from Lammsbräu, we have their Bavarian Dunkel.
And then from Bison out in California, we got their Honey Basil.
Yeah, so that's they're buddies of ours, so they deserve a shout out. Honey Basil is one of those beers that we don't get Bison beers here, but we've been able to run across a few here and there if we go to different states.
You may have seen Daniel on the Hopcast before.
Yes,
so.
Absolutely, and of course Ashley, the beer wench, has been on a couple times as well. So they were kind enough to send these beers to us, and it's one of those beers that we've heard about a lot, and we're always very intrigued by the honey basil aspect.
Right, I think this one and their chocolate is probably like their most favorited, I guess, right?
Is it? I'm not sure.
Do they have the chocolate or
The chocolate stout, yeah.
I think those are the two that people seem to
People talk about those
yeah.
a lot. Okay, well, I without further ado, let's get organic-y on it.
Right. I say we start with honey basil just because I really want to try it.
All right. Well, let's do it.
So really nice and clear.
Yeah, nice looking beer. It's got kind of in between that ruby and brown type of area.
Mm-hmm. A little bit ahead, so
Yeah.
I guess I wouldn't expect much hop in this.
Mm-hmm.
But
Man, I tell you, straight away in the aroma, that basil really jumps out.
yeah, it just smells like you're cooking.
Yeah.
It's cooking in the kitchen. Oh, it's beer.
Like if you're ever out in the garden and you're just like smelling a basil plant, sometimes it has that really unique minty type of aroma to it, and I get a little bit of that as well.
That smells good. Let's
Yeah,
do
it smells really nice. Cheers.
Ooh.
Yeah,
That's
I think
nice.
it's got that honey sweetness and a maltiness to it that's really balanced and not cloyingly sweet, but it's very, very pleasant. But I think where you're going to find the most of that basil is going to be on that aroma.
Right.
You know?
So do you think they're like dry hopping the basil, like throwing it at the end?
I don't know. I think there's a video out on the process of making the honey basil ale. I haven't watched it yet. But you can see at which point they add that.
Okay. And what's great about this is the sweetness. It's not like a super sticky sweet. It doesn't taste like a syrup. It tastes like natural honey. Well, it is organic, so but it just feels like more real honey than just like here's this like bunch of gook we're throwing in there to make it sweet.
That's the beauty with honey and brewing is that stuff really, really ferments out. So it's not going to leave you with that residual sugar, but it's going to give you that sweetness character, the perceived sweetness.
Okay.
So that's what you're going to find here. It's, fantastic honey note that really melds well with the malt bill that they've used in this beer.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing that kind of jumps out at me the most for this beer is how beautifully balanced the malt bill is. And then the basil is kind of like, adding your touch of pepper in a dish. And that's just an added bonus. But
right. Well, when you drink it, it goes honey, malt, basil, kind of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Quite impressed by this beer. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, I could see this going really well with almost anything you're eating, like great meal beer.
Yeah, absolutely. When you're actually using an herb, it kind of can tie in a lot of dishes, And I believe they have a lot of pairing examples that they like to go off of as well.
Well, Ashley's a big
big foodie.
Yeah, she wants to tell people all about that. So yeah,
I could see something kind of pesto-y pasta type thing.
Making me hungry.
But yeah, I mean, it did not disappoint. We waited a long time to try this beer, and it's really a winner.
I know it's gonna be sad. We only have one more bottle left. It's gonna be gone, and then there's no more Bison beer.
Oh well, we'll get back out to the West Coast sooner or later.
Have ourselves a sparkle party.
But yeah, we got some more organic beers to drink. So
should we do Pilsner next?
I think a Pilsner sounds pretty good right now. Let's do it.
Could just keep drinking Honey Basil all night.
Good. Very easily, aside from the fact that we only have one bottle left, but don't mind that.
Yeah, but we do have other organic beers. So
we do.
We can do those.
We have the authentic organic beer straight from Germany. Pinkus is a Pilsner, which we love the Pils. So looking forward to cracking this guy open and see how it kind of compares to other German Pils that we've had, and even some American Pils. We'll see what happens.
Right, being German organic versus
American
so
organic.
used to American organic and local and all that. So getting organic from somewhere else is kind of different.
Right. So
and this beer is pretty popular too, right? Everyone should be able to find this.
I would think so. I think they distribute this quite widely, is from what I understand. So
cool. Let's do it. Wow, that's a white head. Like that, I don't know if you can get whiter than that.
It's very not cloudy in the appearance of the beer, but it's fluffy like a cloud. You know, it's got really nice retention on there. But the appearance is slightly cloudy now that I do say that. Not totally brilliant. You can see through it, but it's got a little haze.
Yeah. It's all right. But the aroma, I know we had a little spillage, but it's just kind of filling the room. It's kind of pouring out.
Yeah, I mean, it's like lots of hop on the nose of this beer. I mean, you're going to be expecting a little bit more amped up hop bitterness on a Pilsner than, say, any other type of lager. But this one's really straightforward, boom, hop right in your face. I mean, noble hop. It's not citrusy or piney like American hops.
No, it's pretty clean.
This is more like the earthy, noble hop. Smells great. It's actually reminding me a lot of the hopping that you would find in a Belgian beer, like a Belgian golden ale.
Let's do it. Wow, that's really good.
I'm loving that.
I know it's the 4th of July week here, but
Germany. I mean, it's got just a beautiful honey-like malt character, and it's not as bitter as I thought it was going to be coming off that aroma.
Yeah.
It's really just a nice, clean, balanced hop flavor, but it's very assertive at the same time.
That's nice. I was thinking it's weird that they're USDA organic. So are they organic in over there too? Because that's like a US certification.
I don't know what their certification is over in Germany, but in order to be sold here, you have to be USDA. You know, so there's different things for the import market. They have to have all sorts of different classifications, and there's a lot of beers overseas that are made just for export.
Right.
Like
is this one? Do you know?
I don't know about this one.
Because it's on the label. We got a sticker there, but it's on the back label. So I would doubt they're making two labels, right? That would be silly.
No, they definitely would.
Oh, okay.
Because if you look at this, it has the imported by, and then it gives you the distributor.
Oh, okay.
So the labels that are going to be coming into the U.S. are totally different than the ones that stay locally,
okay.
if they do at all. was just talking to a friend of mine, and she was out in Belgium, and she was talking about these Belgian brewers out there that there's a lot of Belgian people that don't really drink Belgian beers, so they find that to be like, oh, that's what my grandfather drank,
Okay.
So they drink like the Heineken and stuff like that. Like the younger people don't really drink the Belgian beers.
Kids these
They're like,
days.
we know Belgian beers. Those are our beers. My grandfather drank that. I don't need that. I'll take a Heineken. And so a lot of the business for Belgian beer is export. And if you notice, we see a shitload of Belgian beer
We do see a lot, yeah.
here in the U.S. market. So it made total sense, but I'd never really thought about it. So it's kind of funny because they make some of the best beer in the world, and all these young kids out there won't drink it.
Wow. Okay. They don't know.
They don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, one hell of a beer. I mean, one of the things that you're going to run across, some of the hurdles if you're going to be an organic brewery or you're making organic beers, is just, it's not that the ingredients that you're getting are of less quality, because they should be very, very good, but you're going to have less of a variety of different options to use. Like some of the specialty malts or some of the weirder hops aren't going to become available organically. And so that's kind of the rub with organic, is you have less variation and less opportunity to experiment with stuff like that.
Right. I think Daniel mentioned that in the interview, but he kind of said, more breweries are doing it, so they're going to be growing more of those hops organically. So
Right.
if there's the demand for Amarillo organic, they're going to grow them.
Right.
And I think you may see a lot more breweries, especially local ones, being like, I'd rather have the organic. It's 10 cents more or whatever it is.
Sure. Sure. But man, am I impressed with this beer. There's no sign of oxidation or poor handling on this beer. Coming from Germany, you always kind of look for that oxidation, that kind of thing, and it's really, really delicious. So I'd highly recommend this beer.
Yeah. Well, I think we got one more.
Yeah, one more for you.
We got what's it, dark lager or
Lammsbräu. It's Bavarian Dunkel, so dark lager for you.
Okay, let's finish this off and dive into that. That Pilsner is tasty.
Absolutely. On a day like today, man, I could drink that one all night.
Well, it's time to dunkel down now.
Damn, look at you. So this is the Lammsbräu Bavarian Dunkel from Bavaria, and this is the first organic brewery in Europe. So it should be quite a treat. And they actually they malt their own barley. So there's a lot of, environmental sustainability there, supporting local agriculture. And so this is kind of like the green wave that we have out here, and showing that it extends all throughout the world, really. So this should be fun.
Nice. All right, let's do it.
Cool.
Another pretty clean beer.
Yeah, this one is quite brilliant, even for being so dark. So it's tough to see through just because of the color, because it is darker, but it's quite clear. Mm-hmm. Really nice retention on the head too.
Yeah, and lots of little bubbles, lots of carbonation in there.
Mm-hmm.
The little bottle is funny. Long head.
Yeah, really long head. They're actually using the green bottles, so we'll see if there's any skunkiness.
Light infection.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not really noticing any. There's it's a really biscuity, bready type aroma that I normally associate with German dark beers. Mm-hmm. So very typical in that respect.
Yeah.
It's almost like that cereal-like quality,
Let's do it.
That's good.
Yeah, very biscuity, bready, pretty heavy mouthfeel. It's
kind of caramely. So it goes from that like bready to caramely, and then you might get a little bit of that hop bitterness in there, but very minimal amount of hops. This is more about the deep, rich malt character of the beer.
Mm-hmm. It's really tasty, and I know like you get a lot of people are weary of organic beers, just like missing flavor. I don't think in any of the beers we had today, they weren't like, oh, that's organic, I don't want to drink that. They all still had a lot of flavor. They were delicious, and
just totally solid beers all across the board. Delicious stuff. No infections, despite the green bottle. That they must be whatever their importer is must be handling these beers very well. Mm-hmm. So I mean, kind of goes to show you whatever stigma there is behind organic beer. You can't really always go by that.
You think they're using the green bottle for being green? You think that's their...
some of those European guys just think that it looks sexier, and it's the reason that Saison DuPont still uses the green bottles. They refuse to go brown for their large format bottles, but if you look at the smaller ones, they're actually brown. Mm-hmm. But they feel like it's iconic at this point. So
really, I guess I've been drinking long enough to be like, green's iconic. You want a sexy bottle, I go clear.
Yeah, but if you ever have the opportunity of trying two beers like that are packaged in two different colored glasses, absolutely do it, because it's astonishing.
Oh, I don't think I've ever really noticed that.
Yeah,
enough to...
big time, and you'll definitely notice on Saison DuPont.
Okay.
So that's something you can go out there and try, and I feel like they know that does that to beer, that the light will get into these bottles a lot easier than brown bottles, but they're stuck in their ways and what have you. But they're kind of trusting the people once it leaves the brewery to take care of their beer. But
right.
I don't know
drink it fast.
I don't know if I'd be that trusting of of whoever.
But they're just like, our beer is so delicious, why would you wait?
That's another beer I'm quite impressed with. I mean, I think that the complexity in this malt character is just absolutely superb.
Yeah, it kind of, the sweetness brings it back to like, I want another Honey Basil. It just has like that nice caramel honey finish. It's like, oh yeah, it kind of brings us full circle in these three beers.
So, nice. Hope you enjoyed the 3 beers that we drank today. Normally only do 2, but we're extending ourselves for you on the holiday weekend or midweek. Just goes to show you that you can't really always judge a book by its cover. Organic is delicious stuff too, so don't be afraid of it. Pick it out at your local store.
Yeah. Cheers.
Thanks for watching the Hopcast.